Hello, dear students. Welcome back in our second tutorial. We're still in our prerequisites for Algebra 1 course. The second concept, which will be reviewed in this tutorial, evaluating algebraic expressions using order of operations and simplifying algebraic expression by using distributive property. Let's see how. First of all, let's review the order of operation. Order of operation, we're all familiar with the word PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P for parentheses, the brackets, or any grouping symbol. And we always, when you have an operation or a problem with many operations, we always start with the parentheses. And then E for the exponent, the powers. M and D for multiplication and division. A and S for addition and subtraction. So if I have a problem contains all those operations, we always start by fulfilling or finishing whatever between the parentheses, between the grouping symbols, the brackets, and then we go to the exponent, the power, and then multiply and division always comes before addition and subtraction. If we have multiplication and division in the same problem, we go from left to right. Whatever comes first, you start with. Let's apply this in our first example. But again, let's recall the meaning of evaluate. Evaluate means you're going to substitute or replace each variable by its given value. For example, here I have 2 between brackets x squared minus y plus z squared. Each value of those variables are given. It's given that x is equal to 4, y is equal to 3, and z is equal to 2. So you might, in order to evaluate this expression, you have to replace each variable by its value. So it will be 2. This x will be replaced by 4. It was x squared, so it is 4 squared, minus this y replaced now by 3, plus z squared, which is 2 squared. So the first step to evaluate, it means to replace or to substitute the variable by its given value. Now I'm going to use the order of operations which we have just reviewed. What do I have here? I have parentheses, I have subtraction, addition, exponents. As we said earlier, we have to start by the grouping symbols. We have to finish the operation between the brackets. So what do I have between the brackets? I will leave the 2 as it is. What do I have between the parentheses here? I have 4 squared. According to PEMDAS, I'm going to finish the exponents. So 4 squared is 16 minus 3. And I still have outside here another exponent, 2 squared, which can be simplified into 4. 2 squared means 2 to the power 2. It means multiplying 2 by itself. 2 squared, it means 2 times 2, which is 4. And here 4 squared, it was also 4 times 4, which is 16. Now I'm left up with, again, brackets, subtraction in the middle, and addition. Again, I have to finish the operation between the parentheses. I'm leaving the 2 again. 16 minus 3 is 13. And since I have 2 outside the brackets here, you should know for sure this is a multiplication. So this is actually 2 times whatever between the brackets, which we evaluated into 16 minus 3, 13, plus the 4 as it is. Now I'm left up with multiplication and addition according to PEMDAS. Of course, I have to finish the multiplication first, finding the product of 2 times 13, which is 26, plus 4. 26 and 4 is 30. So I evaluated by replacing each variable by its given value, and then I used order of operation. I started with the brackets, and then the exponents, multiplication, and finally the addition. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and replace each variable by its value and come back and check your answer. Let's do it. If I'm going to replace x to the power 3 by 3, it will be 3 to the power 3 minus the y will be replaced by 2, so it's 2 squared plus z, which is replaced by 5. So it's x to the power 3 minus y squared plus z. I replaced x by 3, 3 to the power 3 or 3 cubic. Both are correct. We can read it as 3 to the power 3, 3 to the third power, or 3 cubic, minus 2 squared plus 5. No parentheses here, no grouping symbols. So I'm going directly to evaluate the exponent. 3 to the power 3, it means 3 multiplied by itself 3 times. 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27, minus 2 squared, which is 2 times 2, 4, plus 5. I have subtraction and addition both in the same level, but I have to go from left to right. 27 minus 4 is 23, plus 5, it is 28. So this is the answer. Hopefully you did it correctly. The next operation we're going to use now, or we're going to review now, is the distributive property. Distributive property is about multiplying a term by a sum or difference between brackets. And what can we do from its name? Distributive, this variable or this number or a term outside the brackets will be distributed over the numbers or terms between the brackets. Let's see how it can be first used in simplifying numbers in numerical expressions as a mental math to make multiplication easier. The question here in example 2 is required to use distributive property, so you have to use the distributive property, not any multiplication, to multiply 12 times 82. Of course, you may tend to make it like 12 times 82 and make this long multiplication, vertical multiplication we all know how to do. But since it's required to use distributive, let's see how it can make the operation much easier. I would rewrite 12 as 10 plus 2. Why did I use 10 and 2? Because 10, it's easier to multiply any number by 10. You're just adding a 0. And table 2, one of the easiest and most familiar tables, table 2. So instead of 12 times 82, I rewrote 12 as 10 plus 2 times 82. Now I'm using the distributive property, which was introduced earlier. This number will be distributed over each number here. So it is 10 times 82 plus 2 times 82. 10 times 82, we all know that 10 times any number, you're just adding a 0. 2 times 82, 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 8 is 16. 820 plus 164. The ones with the ones, so 0 and 4, 4, 2 is 6, 8, 8 and 1, 9. So the answer is 984. Using the same property and simplifying algebraic expression, again, we distribute any number or a term or a variable outside the brackets by each term between the brackets. We have 12 times the sum of y and 3. It's 12 multiplied by the sum of y plus 3. So to simplify it, you will multiply 12 by y, so it will be 12y, as explained earlier. 12 times y, written as 12y directly. 12 times 3, it is 36. And that's it. I'm done. Let's see the next one. Rewrite 4 times the sum of y squared plus 8y plus 2. Again, I'm using the same property, the distributive property. I will multiply this 4 by each term between the brackets. 4 times y squared is 4y squared. 4 times 8 is 32y. 4 times 2 is 8, and that's it. Now it's your turn. Give yourself 20 seconds. Finish it. You guessed it correct. It's 6x minus 24, and this is the correct answer. And that's it for today. Make sure to check your homework on the drive and please submit it on time.